cliched question, but I think it's a relevant one, Sushant, that standardization and flexibility to adapt sort of go against each other at times. Yeah? How much do you standardize and how much do you keep it flexible? Because not every situation may be the same. Any thoughts on that? And I'll also pitch in, once we have your response.
Sure. When we've kind of thought about this problem a lot along with our clients and internally as well. What we realized is standardization works, but what if your requirements outside keep on changing continuously? So it's either is disturbed by the government regulations, it could be disturbed by a competitor, or it could be disturbed by the evolving customer needs. So just to expand that with an example, we were talking to a large banking client, and his problem was that the customer's expectation of our digital offering is comparison within Amazon, right? And we cannot be that flexible because we are a bank. So I said that's one way to look at it, that your processes are rigid and standard. But I said the other way to look at it is, if you compare yourself to a fintech, somebody will come who will carve out a niche in a very small portfolio. So it could be just be loan disbursement, but if they can offer a better experience in terms of digital service, the customer will lean towards them. So the way we said that we can look at this problem is, let's look at an example of an osmosis, right? That takes place in a plant. So the idea is the process is pretty standardized, but the leaves will only suck in the amount of nutrients of the water which is required, and the moment the sun sets, the process stops, right? So I said, in that sense, what happens is, once you standardize a process, organizations typically turn a blind eye to the evolving customer needs, and that's where the synergy from an organization perspective between the sales and the business team kind of breaks. But if there is a constant flow between what is evolving from a market perspective as well as feedback from the ground, so people who are actually facing the customers, it could be your front-end executives or your back-end call centers, etc. If they can also provide a constant stream of feedback of what the customer is actually stating that they expect from you as an organization, once the two come into play, we can have a very good blend of agility as well as standardized processes.
Right. No, very well said. And, I think the example of osmosis was also pretty relevant. I was about to say the same thing, Sushant. What we have seen across our playbooks deployment also is, I think flexibility and standardization sort of dovetail into each other. They're not going hammer and tongs at each other. It's really dovetailing into each other. The most flexible of processes would still need some amount of standardization, and vice versa. There are still this, basic lowest common multiple of activities which still need to happen, irrespective of how much you adapt to a particular situation. So different customers may need different sort of approaches, for example. So you have that flexibility, but you still need to do, 5 things for every customer. So I think that what you said, the right balance is important to have.